Success in both dating and sales starts with a great prospecting plan. Welcome to Love is Sandler. Today we're talking about how building a solid system can increase your chances of quality matches. Joining me today is Monty, who's mastered the art of prospecting through time blocking, leading and lagging activities, as well as creating a cookbook for success. Monty, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming and joining. So let's just jump into the first question. What's the secret to keeping your pipeline and your dating options full?
That's a great question. So the secret for me in keeping your pipeline and dating options full is all about consistency and proactive engagement. In sales, you need a steady stream of prospects to ensure that you're always moving deals forward. The same goes for dating. If you want meaningful connections, you need to be active in putting yourself out there, whether it's through networking, attending events, or online platforms, just like prospecting. The key is to never rely on just one person or just one lead. It's about diversifying your efforts, staying organized, and creating a system that keeps you consistently engaged without overwhelming yourself.
I love that. Can you share a time when having a prospecting system helped you land a big opportunity, whether in sales or in love?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we're all looking for that one super awesome deal to close, which is going to be with that loved one that maybe you spend the rest of your life with. But having a prospecting system is like having a roadmap. In sales, I use a proven process to qualify leads, ask the right questions upfront, and I regularly turns into closing deals. In love, it's similar to knowing what you want in a partner and asking meaningful questions to see if they align with you. Like pods in Love is Blind, whether structure leads to meaningful conversations. The beauty of having a system is that it removes the guesswork and keeps you focused on what matters. It's not about trying to wing it or rely on luck. It's about intentionally building connections by sticking to a process that works.
What about a time when a lack of preparation led to a missed chance, whether that be in your dating life or your professional life?
So, I think for a lot of us, and especially me in my past, there was a lot of times where I would just wing it. And so once I went to a sales call without researching the company, assuming I could just wing it, and obviously I didn't close the deal. It was clear I wasn't prepared and I lost the opportunity. In dating, if you can imagine showing up to a date without knowing anything about the person, it can feel a little awkward and unproductive. Preparation definitely leads to confidence and trust in both scenarios.
Can you give an example of when you haven't prepared? How did that go for you, either at a date or having a cold call or meeting up with a prospect for coffee?
Yeah, I mean, I think like in general, if you're not prepared, and you can be put in an uncomfortable situation where you're not necessarily knowing how to answer a question or how to move forward. And that puts a lot of pressure on yourself and a lot of stress on yourself. And so then you start to, I don't want to say what the word is, but falter, you get kind of anxious, you just don't feel confident.
Yeah.
And that
A lot
is
of
definitely not
awkward
going to serve you.
silences.
Yeah, exactly.
How has building a cookbook helped you stay on track?
So for me, a cookbook is your recipe for success, your daily and weekly activities and sales. It's helped me focus on actionable steps like calls and follow-ups instead of getting lost in the outcomes. In dating, it's about consistently putting yourself out there to meet new people, whether it's through apps, social events, or whatever else you do. Structure creates the opportunities. I personally like creating a daily cookbook, checking things off as I go. It helps me stay on track, and whether I complete the task for that day, it's rewarding and gives me a sense of accomplishment and peace. Knowing that I've succeeded in completing all the tasks every single day allows me to remove this layer of stress and then proceed into the next day and the next day and the next day with a lot of confidence.
Yeah. So that cookbook that you're talking about, is that a cookbook for your general day-to-day, or is that for your sales, or is that for your love life?
No, it's interesting. So like the cookbook for me is essentially my whole life, every single week. So I do have one for the entire week, but I also have one for every day. And example, like right here.
Yeah, give
I
us
like
some notes from it.
Well, so
The sword
sometimes even
numbers.
when I'm like talking in like this, or if I'm talking to a colleague, or if I'm talking to my loved one, writing it down and adding it to my cookbook for what I want to do for the week or in something that day, it helps me stay on track. And there's so much going on in our lives that it's hard to remember every excruciating detail. And so by, either writing it on my computer, but mostly writing on my notepad, I'm able to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
The biggest fear I have is that, and especially for other people, is maybe you feel like you should have done something, or you're like, I forgot something. If you forget something, that kind of lingers in the back of your mind. So the cookbook makes it easy to remember what I should be doing. And that leads to consistency in output and input, and gets me the results I want.
Nice. I love that. You're going to have to share that cookbook with me later. Your structure of it. Okay, so let's talk about leading and lagging activities. How do these metrics keep you focused on what really matters in both sales and dating?
So, yeah, it's a great question. Leading activities is like making calls or sending emails or connecting with people on LinkedIn. And they're all within your control and directly influence the lagging metrics, like close won deals or plan dates with potentially a future loved one. By focusing on what you can control and starting conversations or asking great questions results in a natural flow for both sales and for the relationships. My firm belief is that top of funnel activities take care of bottom of funnel results. And so it's like top of funnel would be like the leading activities, then resulting in close won deals.
Mm-hmm.
And so my success has been really, really focused on creating the best output and input for those leading activities because I know it'll take care of everything else.
Okay, so we're diving into the last questions. What role does time blocking play to ensure you stay consistent without bumming yourself out? What's some advice you can give someone who's trying to create their own prospecting cadence in sales or dating?
So like time blocking is for me essential. You're creating your daily ritual and it's easy to do something once. It's hard to do something easy 1,000 times. And with every day that you do that, it gets easier. So how do I create habits and behaviors that, keep me accountable to what I want in life? And that's by time blocking. By time blocking, I can focus on the things I need to accomplish every single day, not letting noise come into that block so that I'm getting distracted and doing things I shouldn't be that ultimately may prevent me from getting the result that I want. But this also includes like not only just like my finance and like professional life, but my personal life as well, right? And so there's a time block for when I'm supposed to be turning off my professional life and focusing on my relationships. And I think that's the best thing you can have because we're talking about how does sales relate to, your love life. Time blocking allows you to create the separation between where is my attention going to be. If you care about love, well, you're going to have to give attention to it. So time blocking will enable you to essentially create that separation.
Fantastic. Thanks for your insights. Prospecting is about consistency, structure, and focusing on what you can control. Whether it's building a pipeline or finding a great connection, having a plan makes all the difference. What's your go-to strategy for staying consistent in prospecting? Share your tips in the comments. We'd love to hear them. And as always, if you haven't already checked out the link in our bio or description, make sure to click that link. We have a bunch of goodies for you guys in there. We have a link for a discount on our Sandler Summit here in Orlando, Florida, as well as a Crash a Class link completely free for you guys to join, and a bunch of other free resources you guys shouldn't miss. I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for joining.